Afternoon. This video documentation is in regard to the CLK W209 chassis depot brand taillights. I understand that you're reporting that the passenger right side is actually having its parking light brighter than compared to the driver left side. So there's actually a few things that I want to check with you before reporting this to our vendor for the warranty request. I'm looking at the wiring diagram. It is very possible that there's two ways that our manufacturer or vendor does provide these taillights. So I want to check first things first. When you receive the taillight order, please do confirm with me whether if you receive the taillights with simply just these LED connections just hanging out just by itself. Let me take this off real quick. If I can remove these real quick. There we go. Please do let me know if you had just these LED connectors just hanging out without this entire harness. If you did receive the order with the LED connectors connected to a plug-and-play harness, do let me know, because that actually changes the whole troubleshoot that we're quickly checking you with. So if you did receive the taillights with this main connector, the entire harness with two LED resistors, then one thing I really want to make sure or stress to make sure that the wirings wasn't switched around is actually these two lower sockets that's provided by Depot. So these two lower sockets, which is a gray color socket and a white color socket, and then just to further show you, the white color socket has three wires, which is yellow, red, black wire. This is on the internal side. On the external socket side, there's going to be a white wire with black stripe, a green with red stripe wire, and a solid green wire. So these three wires connector needs to be connected to the three wire connector, LED connector on the taillights. So this white socket, I want to make sure you got three wires coming into the white socket, you got three wires connected to the white socket. Conversely, there's actually another socket right here. This wire is going to be just a white wire with a black stripe and a solid green wire. So this gray socket on the bottom row needs to have two wires coming into the gray socket and two wires coming out from the gray socket connected inside the LED circuit board. So I really want to make sure that you don't have these two wires switched around, meaning that you don't have a two wire connected to a three wire socket, vice versa. You don't have like a three wire connector connected to a two wire socket. So that's one thing I really want to check with you first. So here's why I'm kind of reporting this to you and then showing you the results of the LEDs functioning for the bottom row differently. So I'm going to go ahead and bench test this with my 12 volt power supply. I'm going to go ahead and ground the negative, which is the white wire with the black stripe. So, alright, grounded the wire, turning on my power supply. I got my positive lead. So I'll show you right now that this is actually the dim LED output versus the bright LED output. So you're reporting to me that you have this brightness when you are needing this dim brightness as a parking lights mode. So this wire, actually the two functions that I just showed you is controlled by these two pins, which is a solid green wire and the one wire right next to it, which is a green wire with a red stripe on it. So if in the case that these two sockets are switched around, you're going to have the opposite effect. So this is one thing I want you to help me out real quick to check to make sure that if you have this harness, that everything is connected correctly on the bottom row. One more time, this three wire connector needs to have three wires on the socket. This two wire LED connector needs to have two wires on the LED, on the socket itself. If you have two wire matching with three wires versus three wire matching with two wires, that's incorrect. And then that might be the reason why you have the one side having the LEDs brighter than the other side. So hopefully this video documentation helps clarify a few things. Actually, one thing I want to also show you, this is actually for the driver left unit. I know you're having issues on your passenger right side. The passenger right side is exactly the same thing, except the sockets, of course, are mirrored because the taillights is on the opposite side. So the passenger right side taillight has the same color sockets on the bottom. You got a white color socket, you got a gray color socket. Again, this gray color socket on the passenger right side shows to have two wire connected to it. So you got a white and black wire, you got a solid green wire. You got two wires coming into it, you need two wires coming out. So this has two wires. On this side is a white color socket, you have three wires coming in, you got three wires coming out. So this is one thing I want to stress to you, making sure can you please check this? So before, in the case that if you have the sockets connected on the opposite side, go ahead and remove it just like I've done. So actually I'll show you right now how to remove it. So you can just push on the socket base and then twist counterclockwise to remove it. So you got this side removed. Push on the socket base, twist counterclockwise to remove it. This one's a little bit harder to remove. Sorry, this one I might need a tool to remove this one, but alright, so I need a tool to remove this because the lip of the connector is a bit too sunken in, but I'll show you the driver left as an example real quick. But again, you just push on the base and just twist counterclockwise to remove it. Because you can see that there's a groove inside that I'll slide into, twist to lock. So once this was removed, you can remove the other side. Push counterclockwise, push in, and then counterclockwise to remove it. Alright, so I got this 2 sockets removed. So these 2 LED connectors, you can see 3 wires versus 2 wires. Make sure to match. You got the 2-wire socket matched to the 2-wire connector. You got the 3-wire socket. Please have it matched to the 3-wire connector. If in the case it's flipped around and it's connected like this, unplug it, connect to this, connect it to its according LED connectors to rectify the issue. Hopefully this is giving you a good overview regarding to what to check for, because we don't often run into this issue at all. So this is actually a new report for us, having the one side brought in the other. I would like to say that this might be the cause of it, if in the case these sockets are connected to the wrong LED connectors. So please advise, once you take a look into it, please just take a clear photo of these 2 lower sockets and the wires that it's connected to, and that way we can review that. If in the case it's connected correctly, please show us that. That way I can provide that documentation to our vendor so that we can provide RMA options for you regarding the warranty replacement. Please advise. Thank you.